Hello, Booktube, and welcome back. Yes, and I'm back again after, I think, about 5 weeks. I can't remember the last video I made. And before that, I think it was another 5 weeks, I think. If you don't know, right now I am really busy in work. I've got to go all over the UK and do stuff. And it takes up to about Easter and maybe a little bit past Easter where it starts to quieten it down a little bit. But luckily enough right now, they've employed another me, so the whole burden of my job is not on just one shoulder. I said one and then put two things up. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to make more videos. My reading has suffered because of the amount of work I've been doing. Because when I get in and I'm like, so I can't be bothered reading a book, and I can't be bothered making a video of myself. So my reading has gone down slightly, but hopefully in the coming months, especially in the summer, because nothing I like doing more than summertime reading in the back. Oh yes, with a nice short of whiskey, or maybe a big lager, a big Heineken. Yes. So a lot of mentions and a lot of comments. I think I've replied to all my comments now, but mentions I certainly have made any videos with the mentions I've had. I've just not had time, man. And so I got a notification message from YouTube to say this is 1 year on YouTube. So I've been a booktuber now for 1 year, putting myself out there in the YouTube verse. And so I thought it might be a bit of a lark, a bit of a laugh to go back and do the original tag, which I've cheerfully forgotten. Let me just scroll up. What is that? The Booktube Newbie Tag, sort of. Booktube Newbie Tag 2. I just go through the same prompts. Now, a normal, sane person would watch the original video and then, is it the same, or is any of my opinions change? But I've not watched. I can't stand what I cannot watch myself. It makes me. Ugh. I don't know how you watch me. I really don't. So I'll answer these questions again, and I'll try and remember what I said. And I don't know how many prompts this has got. I think it's about 8 or 9. So the first one is, why did you start this channel? Now, I think my answer last year is going to be my same answer as this year. I have very little people in I've got really little people in my life. Got the borrowers, I have friends who read, and there's some of my mates like sci-fi that I've pointed out, like what's just right above my head here, the Expanse series. But I am a massive non-fiction reader, and none of my friends read non-fiction. To them, it's like reading a Wikipedia page. I know. And there's also my brother. Now, my brother is a big reader, but he reads more contemporary fiction, and fiction that really belongs on things like the Booker Prize list. I've read a few Booker books, like Hilary Mantel's books here, and I think they're good. But there's a lot of books on that. But I think when it goes into like the experimental fiction phase, I think Treacle Walker, that's one of the books that was on the Booker list, and it's like 60 pages long, but it's a tough one to get through. So yeah, this is the reason that I created a booktube video, just to put my feelings or thoughts on books out there and see what you've read and whether you agree on a book with me or not. And I guess that's about it. That's the same kind of opinion that I had the previous year. So question number 2, what are some unique things you can bring. And I think I'm going to say what I said last year. What an utterly cringe question this is. What unique things can I bring? A lack of seriousness. I don't know what can be said now that a booktuber has not said. I'm a bloke. I'm a older person. Somebody who's nearing 40. I'm not the only Brit. I'm not the only non-fiction reader. Am I the only person? I don't know. Am I the only person from Merseyside in there? I don't know. It'd be good. I'm the only Merseyside booktuber. I'll take that title. Yeah, so that's my unique thing. And if anybody else is from Merseyside, I'm just going to completely ignore it, okay? Question number 3. What are you most excited for? I think I covered this in the first question, to be honest with you. I get excited when somebody disagrees with a book that I actually really, really like. I love, my favourite book of all time is The Count of Monte Cristo. And when I put that out there, I want somebody to engage with me, like say, I hated The Count of Monte Cristo, and here's why. And just kind of nuke my opinion, And also, when I really enjoy a book and, somebody's read the book that I'm talking about and suggesting, read this as well, because that's similar vibes as well. I guess that's the more exciting part. It's certainly not making a video. Next question. Why do you love reading? I love reading because it's probably one of my hobbies when I'm not going out with friends or jogging or watching the footy or soccer to Americans. Most of my hobbies are kind of like chill. I do a lot of astronomy. I've got telescopes and all that. I was about to say astrology then. I was like, no, that's all bones and pentagrams and hooey stuff. No, I love me some astronomy. I also read a lot, and I've also got a big vinyl collection as well. There's nothing I like best when I've had a stressful day is just get me back on the sofa and put a vinyl record on and just listen to the whole album. I love that. So principally why I love reading so much is the relaxing effect it has on me. Next question. When did you start reading? I wasn't a big reader when I was a kid or a teenager. I think I read stuff like Goosebumps and what was that stupid horror series called? Something horror. Oh, that's it. No, I'm not going to be able to move on. I can't remember this. Point horror. Some point horror books with Goosebumps. I was a Dandy fan as well. I think the Dandy was only in the UK, I think. And the Beano. I did like the Beano as well. That's kind of like, as much as I used to read as a kid. Again, teenage and young adult life. Again, I didn't really read so much. And then it wasn't until, I'd say, about 2010, 2011, around there, where, and I don't know what kicked it off, where I started reading big time. Actually, do you know what I think it was? I think it was this series here. This is Discworld. And I think I finished all Discworld in 1 year or something like that. And I absolutely adored it. I do love me some Discworld. If you disagree with me in Discworld, well, that's it then. It's game over. I know I said that I'm most excited about it, but not with Discworld. And then, I was a massive fantasy reader and science fiction. And they're the two genres I kind of like honed in on when I started reading. And then when I started watching Booktube, I got more into non-fiction. The first 3 people I watched was, I can't remember, it was this Geordie fella, Newcastle, and I don't think he makes videos anymore, But the book club and the book olive always got me reading the Bailey Gifford Prize. I do love Bailey Gifford. It's a non-fiction prize here in the UK, and I love those books. And of course, what does he call himself? Saint on you now, whatever, whatever he says. I've got a lot of books from him too. So that's kind of been my. I don't even know what the question was. Am I even answering the question? Am I just waffling here? When did you start reading? I don't know how I got to this point. So that was pretty much how I started reading. It was via Discworld. I did read bits and pieces the Beano before Discworld, but not a massive until. Next one. What book got you into reading? Well, I'll just cover that, haven't I? Do you know what? Talking about Discworld here, The Colour of Magic and The Life Fantastic, the very first two in the Discworld series, I say it's pure satire. I don't think Discworld gets good until everyone says Mort. I kind of agree, but I think Guards, because I'm a big Nightwatch fan. It's fantastic. And then from Guards, it's a complete and utter, what's the word I'm looking for? Yum yum. It's yum yum. Getting my stomach, Yeah, so, it's pretty, it is Discworld, and especially the Nightwatch series within Discworld. Okie dokie, next one. I have lost my place. What kind of books do you like to read? I think I just waffled about it, didn't I? So, again, right now I am very much a non-fiction reader, especially military history. I absolutely adore it. I do, especially I'm obsessed with the Vietnam War, the 3-Day War, Afghanistan. I do love a lot of military stuff. I do like a lot of travelogue stuff, especially if they got a comic slang to it. That's why I picked up the likes of Will Ferguson and Bill Bryson. I thought, saying this, Terry Pratchett got me into reading fiction. Bill Bryson got me into reading non-fiction. So if you're going to slag off Bill Bryson, I reckon Bill Bryson is one of those authors who is the gateway to non-fiction. That's why I describe him, because he is a very popularist kind of author. Lovely books. I can't remember, am I even answering the question here? Oh, what kind of books do you read? Yeah. So travelogues, military history. I read a lot of nature, a lot of science books as well. And when we're over to fiction, even though I don't read fantasy as much as I used to do, I still do enjoy it. And with science fiction as well, I love me some science fiction. But I also am a big fan of classics, especially my favourite classical author is Anthony Trollope. I should have a glass of water, my throat's very dry now. So Anthony Trollope, I do love me some of. I do like Stephen King. Stephen King's a bit of a 50-50 with me. I'll either detest his book or like his book. And yeah, there's murder books, thriller books, comedy books. I read them all. The only books I really don't read is maybe business books, even though I read some non-fiction business books that are quite good. I don't read self-help books. I'm trying to think of anything else. I don't really read poems, even though on this channel I have read poems and discussed, reviewed of my opinion on some of them, and some of them I actually enjoyed. And the same with things like scripts or anything like that, like plays. Like I don't think I've read any Shakespeare's plays. I might have, thinking about it now, I think I did in high school. I must have done in high school in the UK, but not as much as an adult. And I've dropped it. Here we go. So, what book do you know? What kind of note? I've done that. Where do you read in my house? Right, where do I read? I have, the majority of my reading is the e-reader, so I can take it anywhere. I read on the couch, in the backyard, in the kitchen, on the train, on lunch and work. doesn't matter. I can read. I don't have my special place. My bubble. I don't have a bubble. I can pretty much read anywhere. What does your book collection look like? I used to have a lot more than this. I think in this room right now, the books go from way up high to down low. So there's about maybe 500 books in here, ish. And beforehand, there was maybe 1,500. So I have got rid of a lot of books because I'm not a physical copy reader anymore. And a lot of books, I haven't read this in 15 years. Bin it. Don't need it. Send it to the charity shop. So I very much, the books I've kept are either non-fiction books that I like and love and have read multiple times, and that also covers fiction books. Really nice covers of fiction books, like all the Discworld are in the hardback edition. I know you can't see it, but I've got all the classics on the high shelf here. They're on the cloth-bound classic variety. I've got a really decent Lord of the Rings set up there. I've got the history of Middle Earth and the box series, with really nice pictures on them. And so, yeah, the only really books I've kept now are books I enjoy or got a good edition of. I don't think there's any book in here. I'm wrong. I was about to say I haven't got any book that I don't like in here, but I have. And the reason that I have is it's because it's part of a series. And if I've got the series, I'm not going to get rid of one of the books. I've got that kind of personality. I mean, the one I'm looking at right now is, there's more of them, but the one that stands out in this series is The Wheel of Time, but Crossroads of Twilight is one of the worst books ever. I really don't like that book. I'm trying to see if there's a couple of the Game of Thrones books, like A Feast of Crows, I don't really like. The first book in the Malazan series, Gardens of the Moon, is a tough read. And I don't think that's pretty much it, I think. So yeah, books I enjoy, and there's loads of, on this top shelf over here, there's manga and graphic novels and all those shenanigans at the top shelf here. Yeah, so that's what I've got in the library. Questions to ask your favourite booktubers. Saracen salute. Are you okay, mate? I hope you're doing okay. Saracens is he lives in the UAE now. Hope everything's okay over there. Other than that, I haven't got a direct question for anyone. But I think all non-fiction readers, all booktubers, if you're watching this, I think we all should get involved in some sort of Bailey Gifford Prize read along. I do love it. It comes out in September, October-ish, and it's about 12 books, 12 non-fiction books that's been published in the UK in that year. And chef's kiss. So everyone get in on it. Last question. Challenges to overcome work. work, and personal life. Like I said before, when I am overworked, again, it's hard to make yourself read. Never mind to, okay, let's record myself on the phone. So that's really I think my original answer was IT or something like that. But right now, I am literally just using a stack of books and my phone. That's all I'm using right now. So technology-wise, it's nothing. You just press a button on your phone, don't you? And so that's it. When work gets in the way of play, really, And that's it. So that's the Booktube Newbie Tag 2. And I hope you enjoyed that. And hopefully you'll see more of me in the recent future. Bye, Booktube.